Hi dear all, the topic of today's discussion is lattice dynamics, like lattice vibrations and thermal properties. So we know that a lattice is consisting of atoms which are arranged in a definite order. So we can assume that these atoms are connected together by elastic springs as shown in this figure. We are considering that we have atoms, an array of atoms like this, and they are connected by elastic springs. So the motion of one atom is shared by other atoms. If I have one atom, the vibration of this atom will be shared by the surrounding atoms. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ lattice vibration. And also this lattice can vibrate naturally. Natural vibrations ഉണ്ടാവും. നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടല്ലോ, natural vibrations can be there, then forced vibrations can be there. So this lattice can vibrate freely in normal modes due to its own internal energy, and it can also vibrate under force vibrations. If you are applying some force, this lattice can vibrate. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ആ ഫോഴ്സസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it can be of two types mainly. I can apply mechanical forces. Mechanical forces can be applied to this lattice so that this lattice will vibrate. So if you are gathering information from such vibrations, we can have an idea about, or we can gather information about the thermal properties. So by giving mechanical forces to this lattice can vibrate. By studying those vibrations, we can have an idea about the thermal properties of the material. Thermal properties എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്കറിയാവുന്ന specific heat capacity, then thermal conductivity. So these are all properties which we can gather from studying the vibration of the lattice with the mechanical forces. The second type of forces which can be applied to make this lattice into vibration is electromagnetic forces. Electromagnetic forces. So electromagnetic forces can be applied. So if you are directing light beam onto a lattice, it will vibrate. So if the information that we are getting from the vibrations of this lattice will be acoustical and optical properties. Acoustical, optical properties of the materials we will be getting by studying the vibrations by the application of electromagnetic forces. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ചാപ്റ്ററിൽ നമുക്ക് പഠിക്കാനുള്ളത്, this chapter is dealing with the application of mechanical forces onto the lattice, and we are studying here the thermal properties. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് ഈ chapter, that is what is written here. By applying mechanical forces on a lattice, we can have an idea about the thermal properties like specific heat capacity, thermal conductivity, etc. So this session that we are dealing now is concerned with the study of thermal properties of a sample by allowing mechanical vibrations on the lattice. So what we will be doing next is we will apply a force here, mechanical force here, so that this will undergo displacement. This atom will undergo a particular displacement, this atom will undergo a particular displacement. The motion of one atom is influenced by the motion of the neighboring atoms also. So we will consider that we will have atoms here, spring here, just like we studied in mechanics. We will have solids. Then you might have studied the problem of one mass connected to a spring like that. Then force will be equal to spring constant into displacement like that. That kind of equations we will apply here, so as to derive an idea about the thermal properties. So first we will study the vibrations of one-dimensional monoatomic lattice. That is, we will be having a plane in which there are atoms. We will apply mechanical force and we will study the vibration. Then we will go on to one-dimensional diatomic lattice. Then അതിന്റെ vibrations study ചെയ്യുക. Then we will pass on to the different models of specific heat capacity, like the classical model, Einstein's model, Debye model, etc. Then we will pass on to thermal conductivity. So in general, what we are studying in this chapter is the application of mechanical vibrations on a lattice, and then the study of thermal properties of the materials. Okay. So first we are considering the case of one-dimensional monoatomic lattice. So we are having the same type of atoms here. Each atom, so this is an atom, this one, so which are spaced at equal intervals, and let this side be n. Each atom is of mass m. So there are same masses. So let this atom be placed at this height n. This can be written as n plus 1, n plus 2 like that. This will be at site n minus 1, n minus 2 like that. So that the coordinates will be n into a like that. So if a is the distance, so what you have to do is a is the distance between this atom and this atom. So the same distance will be there between second atom and third atom because it is a crystal, because atoms are equally spaced. So there are two things. M is the mass of each atom and A is the distance between each of these atoms. So that the corresponding x coordinates of the corresponding atoms are given by, this one is given by Na, this one is given by n plus 1 into A, n plus 2A. The coordinate of this atom is n minus 1A, this one is n minus 2A like that. So this is the equilibrium position. This is the equilibrium position. So what we are going to do is we are going to apply a mechanical force. For mechanical force, there will be a shift from the state of equilibrium, and each atom will be shifted by a certain displacement, which is a displacement. And we will note that I am applying a force here. What will happen is that there will be a displacement. So for the new state, that is the displaced state, will be the state of displacement will be, I will draw here. This atom will be displaced by some amount. So say here, okay. Like that will come, there will be some displacement, say like this. This is a displacement. I am applying a force in this direction. So there will be a state of displacement. So what I am going to draw here is a state of displacement. This is a state of equilibrium. This is a state of displacement. So this atom will be here, and then this atom will shift to another place like this. This atom will be somewhere here. So that there is a displacement for each atom. So suppose for this, how will you take the displacement? This is the initial position, that was equilibrium position. From here, it has moved on to this new position. So this displacement for the atom at the nth position can be taken as un. Okay. So this is the state of equilibrium position. This atom has shifted towards the right. So this is for the atom at the n plus 1 position. I can write this displacement as un plus 1. For this one, this may be different, okay. This displacement is un plus 2. Similarly, I can write all these equations here. This is the state of initial state position of this atom. Now it has moved to this. So this displacement can be, displacement is generally taken as u. Then the site is n minus 1. Then this atom might have moved to this position, and this displacement which has occurred for this one is un minus 2 for this one, okay. So the displacements are un for this one, un plus 1 for this one, un plus 2 for this atom, un minus 1 for this atom, un minus 2 for the atom which was initially at the site n minus 2. So we have to take the equation between the displacement and force exerted by the spring. So we will have the equation, we have seen the equation F is equal to, okay, the force exerted by a spring. If you have a mass and spring, that force exerted by the spring on an atom of mass m, that can be written as m into, beta into displacement. So this is what you have studied in mechanics, that is, the force is given by, this one is spring constant into displacement. So whatever displacement has occurred for the atom, that into, this is a particular constant called spring constant. This is a force, in this case this is a force exerted by the spring on the atom. So what we are going to do is, we will consider the force exerted on each atom. So when you consider the force exerted on this one, we will have to consider the forces here. When I am pulling like this, there is a force acting in this direction. So accordingly there is a restoring force acting in the opposite direction. So when this force is acting in this direction, there will be a force coming in this direction and also in this direction. So we have to, when you are taking into account the net force on this atom, you will have to take different forces towards the right. And right leg on force apply. But you have to take, when you are considering this atom, you will have to consider different forces. So one force is acting in this direction, then there is a spring. We have to consider the net force. One force is acting in this direction, because there is a spring, it will be acting in, it will be applying a force, there will be a force in opposite direction. When this force is coming this way, this is experiencing a force in this direction and also in this direction. Similarly here also, when I am pulling like this, there will be a force in this direction, there will be a restoring force opposite direction. So here also forces. So when you are considering this net force on the atom at the end side, you will have to consider the net force considering all the forces, not only on the atom at the end side, but also on the atoms on the n-1 side as well as on the n plus first side. എന്നിട്ട് നമ്മൾ net force on this atom we will find by considering all these different forces. Then we will calculate the net force on that atom, and from that we will derive the frequency of vibrations. അതാണ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. Making use of Newton's second law, force is equal to mass into acceleration, and from that we will have acceleration is equal to second derivative of displacement. അതിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഇക്വേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കി അതിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ഓഫ് ഓസിലേഷൻ വി വിൽ ഡെറൈവ്. അതാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ ഒരു അനാലിസിസിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ നെക്സ്റ്റ് വൺ ഈസ് ദി അനാലിസിസ് ഓഫ് ദി വൈബ്രേഷൻസ് ഓഫ് ദിസ് വൺ ഡയമെൻഷണൽ മോണോഅറ്റോമിക് ലാറ്റിസ്. ഓക്കെ, so here what we are going to calculate is the net force on the nth atom, that is atom at the nth site. So how will you calculate that? So you can see that I am applying a force in this direction. So this is atom at the nth site. Okay, so what are the forces acting on this atom? So when I am applying a force in this direction, however this is displaced, ingottu thannaanu displacement varunathu. So net force will be in this direction. So finally the net force, the resultant force will be always towards the right. So we have to answer like this: there will be a force in this direction, there will be a force in the opposite direction. Okay, so there will be a force in this direction, there will be a force in this direction, because spring and restoring force will be there. So when I am applying a force like this, there will be a restoring force. When this force is coming here, there will be a force acting in this direction. Also there will be a force acting in this direction. ഇത്രയും കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഇവിടെ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So what are the forces acting on the atom at the end site is applying a force in this direction, there will be a restoring force in this direction. ഈ ഫോഴ്സ് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരുമ്പോൾ ഇവിടുന്ന് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഒരു ഫോഴ്സ് വരും. And when there is a force acting like this here, there will be a force in this side, because all these atoms at the n side, n-1 side and n+1 side, they are connected together by elastic spring. So we will have to consider all these forces into account. So how will you get this? That the net force on this atom is given by F is equal to, can you write that? F is equal to beta un plus 1 minus beta un. Okay, plus, so I are getting beta un plus 1 എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇങ്ങോട്ടുള്ള ഫോഴ്സ് മൈനസ് ദിസ് വൺ, ദിസ് ഈസ് എ ഫോഴ്സ് വിച്ച് ഈസ് കമ്മിങ് ഇൻ ദിസ് ഡയറക്ഷൻ. ഇനി അതിന്റെ കൂടെ ഇത് കൂടെ വേണം. സോ പ്ലസ് ബീറ്റ un മൈനസ് 1 un മൈനസ് 1 മൈനസ് ബീറ്റ un. So in this we have considered forces towards the right as positive, because our net force angottanulladu. Forces towards the right are taken as positive, forces in the opposite direction they are taken as negative. So beta un plus 1 ingottulladu minus beta un ingottulladu plus beta un minus 1 ingottulladu minus beta un. Force on this by this is taken as negative. So net force will be given by this thing, because we have studied force is equal to beta into u. So അതിന്റെ ഓരോ ഫോഴ്സ് എടുത്തിട്ട് നെറ്റ് കാണാം. So that will be equal to beta into, what will you get? Beta into un plus 1. This will get cancelled. So beta into un plus 1 plus un minus 1 minus that is 2un. So this is the net force on the atom at the n site. Okay, ഇതാണ് end സൈറ്റിലുള്ള ആറ്റത്തിനുള്ള ഫോഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് we can find out what is the net force on the n+1 atom, that is atom at the n+1 site, atom at the n-1. So first we will have the equation for the force acting on the end atom. So we will get an equation, then you can replace n by n+1, then you will get the net force on this atom. Replace the same n by n-1, you will get the net force on this atom. Like that we will proceed. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. So you will get one time here, another time here. Then you will get those equations. And by Newton's second law, the equation of motion is by Newton's second law. what is a force? Force is given by mass into acceleration. That is, force is equal to m into d squared un by dt squared. This you may be knowing, that is, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is the second derivative of displacement. Unlock d squared x by dt squared. Here we have taken the displacement to be un. So the displacement for the atom at the end side and the acceleration ആണ് ഇത്. d squared un by dt squared multiplied by m. You will get the force. So this is nothing but this one. Okay. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. For the net force acting on this one will be mass into its acceleration. That is equal to beta into un plus 1 plus un minus 1 minus 2 un. So this is the net force on the atom at the end side. This is nothing but acceleration. Okay. Then the periodic solution to this wave equation is, ഇതിന്റെ solution ആണ് നമ്മൾ simple harmonic motion ഒക്കെ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഇതിന്റെ periodic solution to this wave equation is un is equal to u0 exponential I omega t minus kn8. ഇതായിരിക്കും ഇതിന്റെ solution ആണ്. So solution means if I substitute it here, I will get this equation satisfied. അതാണ്. So what is this one? This നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. n എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ x coordinate ആണ്, അല്ലേ? x coordinate of atom. Atom at the end. This is the x coordinate of the atom at the end site. X coordinate of the atom at the n plus 1 site will be n plus 1 into a. X coordinate of the atom at the n plus 2 site will be n plus 2a, like that. So this is the x coordinate of the atom which is in the end site. Omega is the angular frequency of vibration, oscillation of vibration. T time, then u0 is the pre-exponential factor. Then k no, k is the wave vector, 2 pi by lambda. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, നമുക്ക് ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ equation കിട്ടിയല്ലോ. This equation we will substitute it here. So you can get corresponding equations for un plus 1 as well as un minus 1. അത് കിട്ടിയാലും നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. Here in this equation we have un plus 1, un minus 1. So here we have equation for un. How will you get the equation for un plus 1? Simply substitute this, instead of n you put n plus 1. You will get un plus 1 is equal to u0 exponential I omega t minus k into n plus 1 into a. Un minus 1 will be u0 exponential I omega t minus k into n minus 1 into a, like that we will get. ഇങ്ങനെ എല്ലാം കിട്ടിയിട്ട് we will substitute it here. So that is what we are going to do next. So all these equations we will substitute in this one, the main equation, and solve. Okay. So we have written the equation for un as u0 exponential I omega t minus 1. So what will be the corresponding equation for un plus 1? That will be, why we are doing all these things is we will have to substitute in that equation. What is that equation? M into, ഈ equation നമ്മൾ substitute ചെയ്യണം. M into d squared un by dt squared is equal to beta into un plus 1 plus un minus 1 minus 2 un. So this was the equation we have. So after this you will substitute it here. അതിനാണ് ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So what will be un plus 1? That will be u0 exponential I omega 2 minus k into, simply replace this n by n plus 1. So n plus 1 into a. Okay. Then un minus 1 will be u0 exponential I omega t minus k into n minus 1 into a. So then what we have to do here is that substitute here. Okay. So before substituting you have to find all these things. ആദ്യം നമ്മൾ un മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ നമുക്ക്. Then you have to find, in order to find d squared un by dt squared, first you have to find out dun by dt, then d squared un by dt squared, then only you can substitute it here. അന്നേരമാണ് നമുക്ക് ഒരു equation കിട്ടുക. So what is dun by dt? That is what you have to do first. dun by dt, differentiating un with respect to t, what will we get is I omega. So this is when differentiated with time, you will get I omega into I omega. Then this thing u0 exponential I omega t minus kn. Okay. What is u0 exponential I omega t minus kn? This is nothing but un. So I will get I omega into un. Then we have got dun by dt. What we want is d squared un by dt squared. Again differentiate. This d squared un by dt squared will be equal to, and I omega is here. That is written. Differentiating again this one. Is an differentiating. Again differentiating that we will get I omega again. Okay. I omega is again written here. So that is I omega into, then this thing u0 exponential I omega t minus kna, that is equal to, this will be I squared omega squared. We know that I squared is equal to minus 1. So that will be minus omega squared. Then the same thing here, u0 exponential I, this will be same un here. So what will you get is minus omega squared un. So d squared un by dt squared is minus omega squared un. Simply substitute it here. ഇതിനു പകരം അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് m omega squared minus m omega squared un എന്ന് കിട്ടും. That is equal to beta into un plus 1. Substitute this equation. Okay. Un minus 1. Substitute this one. Un, we have already this one. So what we are going to do now is, we have equation. So this is our equation where we have to substitute all the things. We have this one. Now we have d squared un by dt squared. ഇവിടുന്ന് എടുക്കുക. Un plus 1 from here. Un minus 1 from here. Un we already have. So we will substitute all these things in this equation. And that also solve ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ you will get an idea. Here we have omega. Okay. That is the angular frequency. So നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത് വെച്ചാൽ what is the mode of vibration? What will happen if I am exerting a mechanical force on this lattice? So what is the type of vibration? What is the angular frequency of, or what is the omega? അതാണ് നമ്മൾ that is what is we are interested in. So നമുക്ക് ഈ equation solve ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ we will get an equation for omega. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് വേണ്ടത്. So what I am going to do next is taking all these equations and substituting in this equation. Okay. So we have this equation m into d squared un by dt squared beta into un plus 1 plus un minus 1 minus 2un. Now we have substituted all the above things here. Beta into, instead of un plus 1 I have written here. That is un plus 1 u0 exponential I into omega t minus k into n plus 1 I ആയിരുന്നു. K into n plus 1 I minus k into n plus 1 I. That is written as minus k n bracket multiply കഴിയുമ്പോൾ minus k n minus k plus next term is u0 exponential I omega t minus k into n minus 1 k into n minus 1 എന്ന് പറയും. അപ്പോൾ അത് k minus k n ഇവിടെ മൈനസ് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് അത് plus k. Okay. Then last one is un. That is un as we know is u0 exponential I omega t minus kn. അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ വരും. So we are getting that equation. Then what is common in this equation? In this equation what is common is beta u0 exponential I I omega t minus kn is common. So this is here. This is here. Kn and ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. So you take that common thing out. Then what will you get? Inside the bracket, what will you get is exponential. ഇത് കിട്ടും അല്ലേ? Exponential ik. Okay. Exponential minus ik. Then if this is taken out from here, I will get minus 2. ബാക്കി ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ minus 2, then here also. So I will get minus 2, taking this to be second, then plus. Okay. ഇവിടെ എന്താ ബാക്കിയുള്ളത്? ഇവിടെ ഉള്ളത് minus k ഉണ്ട്. Okay. So that will be e raised to equivalent to e raised to minus x minus 2 and the expansion at. So I will write like that. So that is e raised to ika minus 2 plus e raised to minus ik. That will be equal to e raised to, what is this one? 20 exponential I omega means nothing but beta. This is un. Okay, so I can write this as beta un into e raised to ika minus 2 plus e raised to minus ika. So this is what we are getting. So on the left hand side we will have minus m omega squared un, m omega squared un. So you can see that this un and un will get cancelled, and finally I will get minus m omega squared is given by this equation. So I can write minus m omega squared will be obtained as beta into this one, okay, e raised to ika minus 2 plus e raised to minus ika. This can be written to be equal to, this can be written just like a minus b the whole square. A minus b the whole square is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. This can be written as beta into, what we can write is e raised to ika by 2 minus e raised to minus ika by 2 the whole square. And I expand it will be e raised to ika by 2 the whole square. That will be e raised to ika. Then minus 2ab, minus 2 into this one, 2 into the 2 into this one into this one, 2ab e raised to ika by 2 into e raised to minus ika by 2, that is will be 0. E raised to x into e raised to minus x will be 0, so that will be 0. E raised to 0, that will be 1. Then minus of this 1 squared. So this can be written as beta into e raised to ika by 2 minus e raised to minus ika by 2 the whole squared. So this is what we are getting. So now we have written minus m omega squared is equal to this one, and this can be written as this is what we have already written, ika by 2 is on. Then we have sin x given by, what is sin x? Sin is can be written to be equal to e raised to ix, okay, minus e raised to minus ix by 2I. This is sin x, okay. So what is sin squared x? Sin squared x can be written as, sin squared x can be written as square 1 by 4, 1 by I squared, 1 by I squared and minus, minus 1 by 4, minus 1 by 4 e raised to ix minus e raised to minus ix the whole square. Okay, so squaring this will be minus 1 by 4 e raised to ix minus e raised to minus x the whole square. So sin x is equal to e raised to x minus e raised to minus x by 2y. So substituting here, sin squared x is equal to, when I take sin squared, it will be square of this thing will be 1 by 4 e raised to ix minus e raised to x squared. So cross multiplying, 4 sin squared x will be e raised to ix minus e raised to minus ix the whole square. So here we have e raised to ix. Here we have e raised to ika by 2 minus e raised to minus ix by 2. X in the sign k. Instead of x we have here ka by 2. So what we can write here is, similarly I can write here that what is e raised to ika by 2 minus e raised to minus ika by 2, that can be written as 4 sin squared x. Instead of x I have ka by 2. So this can be written as beta into 4 sin squared. Instead of x here I will have ka by 2, sin squared ka by 2. Okay, 4 beta. So on the left hand side I have m minus m omega squared. Okay, minus m omega squared is equal to minus, there is a minus here. Okay, minus, because 1 by 4 I squared, so it will be minus. Okay, minus, then minus here minus b4 beta sin squared ka by 2, and we can, what we want is omega, equation omega minus omega 4 beta sin squared. So what will be omega? Omega is equal to omega squared will be equal to 4 beta divided by m. Okay, then sin squared k by 2. So if omega squared is equal to this one, What is omega? Omega will be equal to root of 4 beta by m. That can be plus or minus. Okay. So omega will be equal to plus or minus root of 4 beta divided by m. Taking square root of this, it will be sin ka by 2. So now we have got the expression for omega. So this is the frequency of vibration of the monatomimer. So and then some other different, we will consider different cases. Long wavelength, short wavelength, അങ്ങനെ പല കേസുകൾ നമ്മൾ ഇതിനകത്ത് എടുക്കുക. And also there is some substitution for these things. So we will see it in the next class. Okay. Thank you.